Hey nerds, welcome to episode 65 of the Nerd Rundown podcast. This week on the show, Morgan and I cover all things San Diego Comic-Con. Marvel's big return to Comic-Con is loaded with trailers and release dates for upcoming projects all the way out through Phase 6. We talk about what DC Comics has in store for us. 2 words, Baba Yaga, the return of John Wick. Morgan loves him some Walking Dead news. I talk about Star Trek, because I can, and both of us reveal our best of the con. Ready, hit it. Hey nerds, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Rundown podcast where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm your host for this week's episode, Erik Hare, and with me tonight is Morgan Santo, aka Big Morg 3000.
The new world's going to need Rick Grimes.
It is. It is going to need Rick Grimes. You can find us on our social media sites like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, at the Nerd Rundown. And then you can like and subscribe, especially on YouTube. You can hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Really helps us out. We've got some great commentary of late on there. And I know for me personally, I need to do a better job of chiming in on stuff. I usually will comment on the show, but I keep forgetting to comment in the YouTube channel. But like I said, I think on last week's episode, you know, even if you just listen to the audio only, you can hop on YouTube at any point and just, drop a comment in there and we'll be, one of us will definitely get back to you for sure. I think our social media manager, Morgan Santo, is pretty good. And so is our lead guy, Darren. He gets back to everybody. I think it's just me that's the slacker because Megan chimes in all the time. So
yeah, you're definitely slacking.
So this week's episode is like loaded. It's a loaded episode. This might be, the biggest episode we've ever covered. So
did something big happen this weekend?
Yeah, it was a little known. It's out on the West Coast. It's this little thing called the San Diego Comic-Con, a comic book convention, and it has turned into a circus, like it just is unbelievable. I cannot wait to go. At some point, I really, really, really want to go. I really want to check it out. I really want to see what it's all about, like being there. I've watched and looked at like all the cosplay pictures of people who dress up in all the different costumes and stuff. And, like I don't think I could do that personally, but I can appreciate like a lot of the really hard work that goes into all of those costumes. Like, wow, like some of those people, they really go all out and try and make it as accurate as possible. So so that's pretty cool. So yeah, we got a ton of updates from the 2 big comic book houses, at least from the cinematic universe side of things, both the DC cinematic universe and the Marvel cinematic universe. We got Disney Plus update stuff. A lot of the other production houses put stuff out this week. It's been pretty awesome. But let's get into the rundown and let's talk about Morgan. Let's talk about the MCU because holy smokes, there's a lot. Like It is a lot. So buckle your seatbelts. Make sure you've got a pen and pad handy because the dates are going to be coming at you fast and furious, and we'll talk about titles and all that good stuff. But let's start off with what I thought might have been the best thing to come out of the San Diego Comic-Con that's not related to The Walking Dead. So so let's talk about the new Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer. Yes. What did you think, Morg? What did you think of it?
Yeah, so the way I described this trailer was I watched it with my wife and son. And as soon as the trailer was over, I was like, wow, that wasn't a Marvel movie. And that was good.
Like in a good way. Yeah.
It was a good thing. I was like, just the visuals in it, the way it was done, the music with the Bob Marley and that transitions to Kendrick Lamar.
Totally.
The whole everything about it was fantastic. That trailer did blow me away. I was pleasantly shocked.
Yeah,
with that trailer,
it was really good. It was really good, and I'm a big fan of the first Black Panther movie. I thought it was really great, and that goes back to something I think we've discussed multiple times, where you're only as good as your villain. And Michael B. Jordan, was amazing as the villain in that one, because he's totally a sympathetic guy. Like, you can totally sympathize with what he's what he's like, the streets that he's grown up on, and like why he's as upset as he is. So I just awesome, man. Like, in this trailer, holy cow, we're gonna get a big battle between the Wakandans and the Atlanteans. It looks like. I think this is something that we talked about before. We didn't get a ton of backstory on this, but we got some pretty spectacular visuals. The costumes, holy smokes. And we got a glimpse of the new Black Panther. We did. And it wasn't until like literally the last 30 seconds of the trailer that you actually just get, and it's just brief. So all of that leading up to it is, you just get the hand, and then so that was the shocking thing to me was, and I guess it probably isn't too shocking, excuse me, that you would see, the whole Black Panther movie, and you only get maybe a 3-second snippet of the actual main character of the movie,
right.
So I was like, wow.
And I honestly don't want to know who Black Panther's going to be. I want to find out in the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't need any lead up to it.
Yep.
I mean, we know they're going to do something, like just that little tease. Like that's all I needed. I was excited. And I mean, and the trailer shows a lot of great stuff that doesn't really give away any plot. I mean,
not at all.
The trailer, you can tell the movie's going to really be more focused on the aftermath of T'Challa dying, because I believe they did confirm he's going to be dead in the movie as well.
Right.
They're going to truly, from what I understand, honor Chadwick and his
and I think that's great
representation of T'Challa in this movie. And I think that's what it's going to be mostly about, is what's next. And then we throw in the whole Atlanteans and Namor and that mess of fighting that. I'm interested to see where this is going to go. I've heard some theories. People are throwing out some Doctor Doom theories in this, which would be pretty neat.
That would be pretty cool. So
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I wouldn't be surprised if you have a situation where there's somebody pitting two groups against each other is actually the main villain. So I don't think the Atlanteans will probably be the main villain overall. I think they'll be the main chess piece that gets moved around the board. But the main villain is probably somebody, like you're saying, it's a Doctor Doom type character or whatever, somebody trying to manipulate things. So Angela Bassett, who plays Ramonda, the Queen, that she has been just a tremendous actress since, I've seen her in a lot of stuff for a long time, and she just dials it up every single time. And her monologue that she talks about during it, is just really heartbreaking. You can hear her and the pain and the suffering, that I don't know who she's talking to. I'm not sure who she's giving that monologue to or whatever. But, that part where she's saying, my family has given everything, and I'm like, man, that's literally. And so holy smokes, like that totally got me like right there. And I was like, oh, this is super cool. So freaking amazing, man.
Yes. They showed Ironheart in there.
Yeah. So
had a little Tony Stark feel when you see her banging out the heart and the steel. And I was like, oh, okay. Or whatever the metal was she was using. But, I saw that and I was like, okay, so there's Ironheart.
Yeah. So so what do you think, well, I mean, I know you don't want to spoil it, but who do you think is going to be the new Black Panther? Like, who do you think is going to be? Because I was like looking at the legs, like I paused that whole thing, and I was looking at the legs. I was trying to, because they don't give you, they really don't give you anything
CG right there. And,
yeah,
and Marvel's well known for altering all of their trailers.
Yep.
It's really tough, and something that I kind of want to see, but I don't think they will do it, is I want to see Michael B. Jordan.
Agree.
Come, and because we're in the multiverse now.
Yep.
Which is something we're going to talk about here.
Yep.
We're in the multiverse. He could be pulled from somewhere else. So we get him, the phenomenal acting, what he can do in that role.
Yeah.
And I think he would be a great Black Panther. And it would be interesting to see how people handle that, because they only know him as a bad guy.
Right.
Essentially. So
yep.
It would be neat, but who knows what they're going to do.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. That has been my hope as well, and I think I've said it on a couple of previous podcasts, like that is my hope as well, like that he would be able to take the mantle, because I mean, how amazing of a character arc can you have, where you take him, and he really learns like what Chadwick, like he really takes on what Chadwick has, has given to him. Because I mean, talk about two really phenomenal actors, both Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, just tremendous talents. But for his character to, Killmonger to go from where he was as the enemy in the last one, and then come and be like, hey, you're going to be the next guy. And it's like, wow, that's gonna be pretty awesome. So yeah, I don't know, I don't know. We're going to get Letitia. I don't know what's going to happen with Letitia Wright. Could be her, could be somebody completely off. Off the Winston Duke as M'Baku. Gosh, he is like everything that dude is in. I'm like, I'm in. Like, I'm in. I don't care what he's like. It could be a Taco Bell commercial, and I'll be like, I'm going out and get Taco Bell like right away, because
buy it right then.
Yeah, because he's just an amazing talent. So November 11th, you're not gonna have to wait too long for this one. So August, November, we're almost into August. We've got a few days left here in July. So August, September, October, November. So like 3-4 months, and we'll be getting. So I imagine we'll start to fill in the gaps with more trailers as we get closer. We'll usually get another two probably trailer 2, and then a final trailer. So we'll start to see some more stuff kind of fill in. So all right, so buckle up. We're gonna move on to the next phase. See what I did there? Next phase of the podcast. Still staying in the MCU, but we are going to talk about dates, projects. I'm going to go through the whole list, and then we're going to rewind and then just kind of go through and just give kind of a quick hit on each of the ones that we're looking at. I'm going to try and hit these for the most part, based on and this is going to be a mix of Disney Plus stuff, and so I'll try and call it out as it goes. A mix of Disney Plus stuff, and then and also cinematic stuff, in the movie theaters. So Disney Plus did give us a She-Hulk stuff, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we start off with Secret Invasion. So Secret Invasion is going to be a Disney Plus series with Samuel Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn. They'll be reprising their roles of Nick Fury and Talos, and so that's going to be spring of 2023.
And Eric, before we go too far, does Ant-Man start Phase 5? I believe Ant-Man Quantumanium starts.
I believe you're correct. I think,
but I could be wrong.
I think Wakanda Forever is the final one in the Phase 4, and then Quantumania starts Phase 5. Yeah, I believe that's true. Unless there's a series, unless She-Hulk is somehow shoehorned in there and going to be doing that. But I don't know. So I want to say that you're correct. That I think it is Phase 5 starts with Quantumania.
The internet will tell us.
Yes, they will. Then I'll be corrected very quickly.
Let us know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the next project then, so Secret Invasion is going to be spring 2023. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, only in theaters, arriving February 17th of 2023. So we'll get Scott Lang and the rest of the gang. Should be pretty cool. So we got what's her name from Lost is in that too.
Jennifer.
No, it's Kate. What's her name? She was Kate in Lost. Darren's probably screaming at the thing going, come on. Yeah, you guys know who this is. Anyhow.
Evangeline.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly. Yep. So, and then Michael Douglas, I'm sure, will be in there. Michelle Pfeiffer. Yep. So we'll probably have the whole cast and crew will be back February 17th, 2023 in the theaters. The one I am the most looking forward to, I think, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Well, I should say the most out of like these early phase ones. Like I cannot wait to see this. Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Drax, Mantis, Nebula, and the rest of the gang are back May 5th, 2023. So that'll be kicking off the summer blockbusters for Disney and MCU. Echo. Summer 2023. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. This, if you guys watched the Hawkeye series, there was a character named Echo that was introduced in there. She is a hearing impaired or a deaf person, and so I loved this character. I thought she was super cool. She had a really great edge to her, and so I'm not quite sure how we're gonna. I'm not sure. I don't know. This is gonna be weird, because she was a bad guy. So, but I'm not. So I don't know if we're doing a show about a bad guy or maybe we're gonna soften her up or whatever.
Yeah, she needs a good lawyer.
Right? Yeah. So a very good lawyer. So let's talk about variants. Loki season 2, summer 2023 on Disney Plus. We loved season 1. That was awesome. This is another one that I am super jacked for. Mahershala Ali is going to be in theaters November 3rd, 2023 as Blade. So that one's going to be pretty excited. We talked about this just a few seconds ago. Ironheart, we alluded to it, comes up with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, but Riri Williams, Riri Williams will make their debut as Ironheart in Wakanda Forever, and then she'll have her own stories in the fall of 2023. No date on that, but we're gonna see it. So
I'll say, before I forget, Eric, before Blade, we do have the Marvels.
Yes, I didn't see that. They didn't mention
July
it.
28th, 2023.
Okay, the Marvels. So that's gonna be. That's going to be Marvel. Who are we going to get there with the Marvels?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
We'll have Miss Marvel, who just had her show wrap up.
Yep.
And then we're going to have, I know Monica Rambeau is going to be in it. I'm assuming she'll be full power superhero in this.
Gotcha.
Or maybe like Captain Marvel's going to be helping her.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Creeping up on what I think is probably your favorite, but we have one to go ahead of it. We are going to get, again, if you watched one of the previous series, WandaVision, there was a character introduced in that, Agatha. And so we're going to get a series based around her, which I'm not sad about. Like, I absolutely loved that character. And I just think that the actress that in that is just adorable. So winter 2023, we're going to get Agatha, Coven of Chaos. I think, I don't want to speak for you, but I think this might be your favorite one. The return of Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, Matt Murdock, Wilson Fisk in Daredevil Born Again, spring 2024. Holy smokes, dude. Like, we're going to rewind and come back to this, but I'm super jacked about that one. Mm-hmm. Right on the heels of that, 2024 is going to be pretty big because we're going to get a new Captain America, New World Order, which I found it interesting that there is no Captain America and Winter Soldier, because we got that series, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I didn't see anything on the agenda that they're going to keep doing that. So
maybe the Winter Soldier is going to be busy with the next title on the list.
Could very well be. Because, but that's again going to be in the theaters. So Disney Plus is not going to be extending it. So Captain America: New World Order will be Sam Wilson's new vehicle, May 3rd, 2024. Next on the list might be Darren's closet favorite, secret favorite.
I think so.
I'm not sure. This one probably is going to be high on his list, but the one after this is also going to be, he's going to blow his mind. He's going to go nuts. Thunderbolts. We're going to get Thunderbolts July 26, 2024. The tough part about this is, the guy who played Thunderbolt Ross just passed away. What's his name? I'm trying to think.
I'll look it up while you talk.
Yeah. So anyhow, the guy who played General Thunderbolt Ross in some of the previous Hulk iterations before they had what they have now, recently passed away. So that's going to be something that they're most likely have to recast. William Hurt. Yep, that's right. Yep. So that's gonna be tough. But you're right. So we could get a Winter Soldier Thunderbolts appearance, in there. I think we'll probably see a couple of.
Could be a good leader.
Yeah, for sure. Finally, I think the one that again, Darren's probably going nuts about all this stuff, but Fantastic Four officially announced. We're getting a Fantastic Four movie. We knew we were going to, but now we have the official. It is November 8th, 2024. Production kicks off next year. Don't know anything. Don't know casting information. Gosh, I hope it's John Krasinski. It would be great. I mean, because it would be super cool if they could figure that out. Yeah.
I heard rumor that it's not.
It probably is not. I mean, Krasinski's a man in demand in Hollywood, and for you to sign on for an MCU role long-term is a long-term package.
10,
like this
10
is
years or more.
Yeah, you're setting aside 10 years of your life, and I don't know that that's something Krasinski's willing to commit to. Next up, Avengers. So if you watched Loki, if you watched the first season of Loki, we got a preview and a introduction to who the next guy who's going to be the big bad to take over for Thanos. That it's going to require the entire, Avengers crew to kind of resolve their issues. But we've got Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe will start May 2nd, 2025 with Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. So sounds actually gives me shivers when I even say it. Next up after that, November 7th. So we're going to get, if I'm reading this right, we're going to get two Avengers movies in the same year. At least that's what I'm seeing here on the list.
The same month.
Yeah. So I've got Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, May 2nd, 2025. And then I have Avengers: Secret Wars, November 7th, 2025. Okay. So I've got those two in the same year. I'm like, that seems pretty crazy. So, that'd be game. Yeah, so we're gonna get two Avengers movies in the same year. That's gonna be pretty awesome. So, all right. So I'm tired. My throat's already sore. So let's go back.
I believe, Erik, they did give this an official title. This whole new phases, the Multiverse Saga.
The Multiverse Saga, yes. And so I have images of all this. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'll be putting up the banners for all of this stuff during the editing, and so you guys will see all this as we kind of go. But yeah, all right. So let's start with Secret Invasion. Quick thoughts there.
I'm interested to see what they do with it. They've been teasing it a little bit since for a little while now.
Right.
With it being a Disney Plus show makes it feel like it's I don't know.
Yeah.
That gives me a little worry.
Yeah.
And I get, because it sounds like that's not the big focus. The big focus is Kang, and then Secret Wars.
Right.
Is the big thing. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm kind of like
you feel cautious. I feel like you're a little cautious around this one. So.
I'm very cautious. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I think this plays out perfectly on the small screen. I really do. You know, I mean, I don't know a ton about the Secret Invasion plot line, but I think it doesn't require big sets. I don't think it requires a ton of stuff because I think you got a lot of like, you know, people being replaced by other people, and so I'm really looking forward to it. And I've really enjoyed, you know, we got with the Spider-Man stuff, and with the Captain Marvel. I've really enjoyed the Talos character. Like I like him. Ben Mendelsohn is a great actor, you know, and so I'm curious to see what the relationship between Fury and Talos is going to be. So that's
because I'm interested. One of the things is like from what I remember, and I'm not big on the Secret Invasion, the comics and stuff, but I could have swore that the Skrulls were bad. Yeah. You know, they were literally taking over. That's the whole point of the Secret Invasion. Whereas all we've gotten from the Skrulls is misdirection that we thought they were bad. But it turns out, at least in the MCU, they seem to be good. They're working with Fury. We seem to be buddies. So that's what I'm kind of confused as to what the invasion really is.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so moving on quickly, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So this the Ant-Man group apparently did just teased a little bit in here is Ant-Man and the Wasp are going to officially introduce Kang the Conqueror into the MCU at this point, because we got a little tease, but nobody defined him clearly as to who he was, you know, in Loki's in the finale of Loki or whatever. But for sure we're getting an introduction in the Quantumania. Thoughts on that?
That I'm looking forward to. I mean, I obviously Ant-Man, the character himself, Paul Rudd, is fantastic. I could watch anything with Paul Rudd. I love the guy, and the fact that he'll never die is great because he doesn't age. So I'm looking forward to that.
He's like, I feel like he's like, you know, for the longest time, I think America like should have had a Secret Service detail with Betty White, because there's just like, you could like, she was a national treasure, and like if anything were to happen to Betty White, it would just be terrible. But now that she's passed on, I think we should move very quickly to Paul Rudd and keep a Secret Service detail around him at all times.
At all costs.
Yes, and he should be, you know, like from a tax dollars, I don't care what it costs, you know, like just make sure that man stays healthy. If we need to freeze him, then we do it.
I'll jump in.
Yeah, right.
And I'm looking forward to it because we're going to get bad guy Kang essentially.
Yes.
We got Kang and Loki. He was he who remains is what he was, and he's more goofy. You know, I call him goofy at that.
Yeah, but he was
odd.
He was a dude that's been locked in a cave by himself, or locked in a building by himself for a long time, and that's what happens to people when you do that. So
I mean, Luke Skywalker went nuts only after a few years.
Yeah, and like he was milking like little whatever those things.
So looking forward to that. I mean, people were talking about the stuff. It looks like they showed some good interaction between Kang and Ant-Man. So Scott Lang and Kang.
Yep.
I don't want to talk about the footage because I know we'll be getting the trailer soon. They have a trailer.
Yeah.
I think we're in for a treat.
Yeah, I agree. Another one that I am really excited about, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think of all the characters that I never knew I would care about, both the Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy have been just delightful treats, you know, and I think it has to do with casting, you know, like who they cast in the different roles. But yeah, so we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be huge. I'll be shocked if it's not. I mean, they introduced the High Evolutionary. came out in character and costume and Comic-Con, which was pretty neat. Seen cell phone footage and stuff.
Right.
Of course, I always say I'm going to wait, but then I don't.
Yeah, right.
I got to look up everything I can.
Yep.
I know we're getting some more background, like on Rocket.
Yeah.
They talked about we're getting Adam Warlock, played by what's his name, Will Porter.
Will Porter. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The goofy kid from. Is it Meet the Millers? We're the Millers?
I believe, yes. Yeah. He's so funny, dude. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that guy's funny. He's been in a lot, too.
He has.
He's a pretty good actor. He's done a lot. So I'm looking forward to it. My guess is they're going to be looking for Gamora. Would be is the main plot behind this. But I think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to introduce and set up some stuff, too. I think we're going to get some interesting teases, especially mid-credits on this one.
Agreed. So, for the most part, everything else is further out, I mean, everything else is summer. And it's mainly, mainly, really it just kind of is just stuff. So anything other than, well, let's skip forward to Daredevil, because I think that's the one we really want to talk about the most. So that's going to be spring 2024. We didn't know, but we hoped. Let's just say we hoped.
Yes.
How does this make you feel now that we get?
It feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. I'm a little nervous because, like I said, I want him to Disneyfy it.
Sure.
But didn't they say it's going to be like 18 episodes?
That's what I heard.
That's the rumor.
That's what I
don't know if it's confirmed, but if it is, that's wild. Like everything else, it's been 8 episodes most. I think. It's.
So I don't know if that means we're gonna get a season, 2 seasons, and two 9-episode seasons, or
that could be,
or I'm not sure, or maybe 3 6-episode seasons. I'm not sure how you're gonna do that. That frightens me when they say stuff like that, because even the Netflix stuff, as good as it was at 10 hours each season, a couple of the episodes where I'm like, hey, I don't think we really needed that episode. Like as much as I liked it, it frightens me a little bit. When you start to stretch things out, you get a lot more filler stuff than you necessarily need. So
now the series, so the Born Again, based on, if they do it based on the Frank Miller actual Born Again, which I'm guessing they will.
I hope so.
Born Again,
yes. Yep.
In that, that story is him and Karen Page had a strong relationship. I believe they were actually exes in this story.
Yeah.
And she gets addicted to drugs and sells out his identity.
Okay. Yeah.
And Kingpin gets his identity. So Kingpin's goal is to make his life living hell, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very good storyline. It's a dark storyline, as you can imagine.
Yep.
I mean, Daredevil's already a darker character, and then to have his identity released, and he's got to do what he's got to do.
Absolutely.
So I just really hope it translates right.
Well, and again,
I hope they do it right.
If you've got a villain, you've got a great actor in your villain, Vincent D'Onofrio. If there's anybody out there that's going to be able to, act that way, it's going to be Vincent D'Onofrio. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't. If you're okay with this, Eric, I know we have She-Hulk a little further to talk about.
Sure, if you want to skip.
But I kind of want to tie it into this.
Okay. Do it.
Because we did get that She-Hulk trailer.
We did,
which got me more interested in it.
I agree too. I was. My attitude coming out of the first couple trailers was I didn't like the CGI, but I was kind of trying to look past the CGI, and I was looking at this more of not a parody, but at least not taking it so seriously. And exactly. I think I got confirmation that that's where this is headed to. At least I don't. What are your thoughts?
I agree. It's definitely going to be funny. I mean, she breaks the fourth wall. and then she looks right at the camera and says
she
something.
did, and then she catches herself.
Yeah,
she catches herself, and she's like, you know. And I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
That was good.
Yep.
It does look like it's going to be better than I expected.
Yeah.
And then of course the big reveal at the end of the trailer, which is why I want to tie it in here, is we get Daredevil at the end of the trailer.
Right.
You see him come flipping in, and it looks like he's in a really old school accurate comic. Not entirely accurate, but it looks like he's got the yellow goldish with the black, and like that's definitely an older look. Which shocked me. And you see the flip. They don't give the full reveal, but they pan up, and he's got the the weapon. It's him.
Yep.
I mean, you definitely know it's him, and he's an attorney.
Yep.
So it wouldn't surprise me he would show up in a show about an attorney that's a superhero.
Yep.
But that alone is probably why I'm going to watch the show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Just for the 5 seconds that they're going to show him at the end of the series.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the last scene in the finale. That's probably the last scene in the finale. So yeah. No, I was pleasantly surprised with the She-Hulk stuff. Like this is not a product that I've been like, oh man, I can't wait. Right. But I actually do want to see it. I think the CGI is looking better. It's definitely looking better than when that first came out. Maybe that's just me getting used to it. And she's kind of a goofy character, like her. She's very, this we were just watching Jumanji, the new Jumanji movie, and Karen Gillian's character, who she played, what's her name in
Ruby Rose?
Ruby
Rose, that's an actress.
No, it's
Ruby, right? Isn't it just like Ruby?
Gosh, where's there? I can't remember what she plays. Her last name is like Man Killer or something, like Ruby Man Killer or something like that.
What it is.
And the whole scene where Jack Black is like teaching her how to flirt and how to like walk, and I'm like that is what this She-Hulk kind of feels like. Like there's going to be Hulk is teaching her how to be a Hulk, and all this. And so I have a feeling that's going to be kind of funny to see how that goes, like kind of fish out of water type thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So Cap, we get Sam Wilson in the new Captain America stuff. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what we're doing there. The Thunderbolts, we chatted about that briefly. I'm very interested in Thunderbolts. Very interested. I don't know whether that's going to be more. I could see James Gunn doing that one. I could see him moving into the Thunderbolts stuff and having fun with that group.
James Gunn did say Guardians of the Galaxy's kind of like an ending for him.
I think so. Yeah, I think at least for this particular cast as the Guardians of the Galaxy,
the way we know it.
Yeah. So, so I think it would be interesting to see James Gunn do the Thunderbolts, and because that would have him doing both of the kind of offbeat characters, because he did the most recent DC one. What was it? Yes, the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. So I could feel like the Thunderbolts would be in line for something like that. Fantastic Four, big. That's going to be big.
That'll be huge. That's going to be a big one.
Because I think that group has been just kind of dragged through the mud and just done. Nobody has done a good job of handling that. And so I'm hoping Marvel pulls that off because it's just going to be awesome.
I mean, if they don't, then they just gotta never touch that again.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. Like I feel like that property is dead and buried if they can't resurrect it on this one. So.
Oh yeah.
And then we get the two Avengers stuff, the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So long ways out. We're looking a couple years, down the road, 2-3 years. The final one is November. Secret Wars is November 7th, 2025. So, wow, that's a long way to go. But super cool. And like I said, I will put up the artwork for what we have on that side, and you guys can see all that in the stuff. So okay, so let's move on to there's another comic book house out there, Morg. They decided to take a little bit of time to show off a couple of their new properties as well. We got a little teaser trailer for Black Adam. So what was your take on the Black Adam? And this comes out October 21st. So we're getting close. We're still not quite there, but we're getting close.
Yeah, I mean, The Rock's entrance was probably the best entrance to any Comic-Con ever, with the way he was in his outfit. They had the lightning behind him on it, that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I'm still looking forward to Black Adam. I'll say that the extra footage they showed didn't make me any more excited. Yeah. My level stayed the same. I am excited. Right. I'm still interested to see what they do with it.
Okay, so did you get the sense that like The Rock, like Black Adam is more of like a villain than
Yeah, so I'm hoping they go that route, because I mean he is a villain essentially. I mean, he fights Shazam. He beats up technically a little kid. Right. Yeah. Right. Well, so I hope they keep that route. Now I don't know. Like, can The Rock even be a villain? Is he allowed to be a villain? Like,
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. But
so will something come along? Because the movie is clearly about the Justice. Was there not the Justice League? The Justice Society.
I think so. Yeah.
It seems like they're trying to you could go that path or you could go this path. Right. So it seems like that's going to be the main conflict of the movie, which could be good. I mean, I'd love to see him fight the Justice Society. I mean, that'd be really cool. So I mean, he hits Hawkman pretty good in that trailer. So
yeah, he does. Yeah, I love one of my favorite people to look at is Sarah Shahi. And she made her kind of debut, I guess, in the trailer, in the teaser on that one. I don't think I'd seen her in the first one, but maybe I missed her. But she's really not ugly. So I'm excited to see more of her in that. It's gonna be really great. So you mentioned it also. Another character. So Shazam 2. Fury of the Gods, which is going to hit theaters on December 21st. We got a official trailer for that, and wow, that's
going to be good.
Helen Mirren and we're getting Lucy Liu. I was like, okay, I loved the first one. So what did you think of the trailer here for Fury of the Gods?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to have that same feel as the first. Just it's going to be a fun movie. Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of DC's highlights. Yeah, you can tell. I'm interested. I'm looking forward to seeing the plot of these two gods who are pissed off that kids have the power of the gods and essentially are not happy about it. So, I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I'm looking forward to see more of the family team up. And then working together. Yeah,
we'll talk. Let's talk about the most disappointing part of the trailer was the reference to.
You mean the best part?
Come on, it's all about family.
Any reference to Fast and Furious.
We got a Fast and the Furious reference in the trailer, and I was like, oh come on, like this is just terrible.
Like I said, Helen Mirren is hurting for money, so they got to do the reference so she's in Fast and Furious.
Yeah. So it's got to be Helen Mirren is not hurting for anything, I don't think so.
This is going to be good.
I thought it looked really good. I agree with you. I agree with you on both trailers. So I just kind of go back and get my quick thoughts on the Black Adam, as well as Shazam. Agree with you wholeheartedly on both of them. I did not get a sense from the teaser that we got the sneak peek with the Black Adam that I'm gonna want to see that any less. DJ and I are we're friends, and it's more of a one-sided friendship, but you know what,
Kevin Hart, and then
like again, we were watching the thing this week. We're watching the Jumanji movie, and the whole Kevin Hart, he says he says, I'm missing the top 2 feet of my body, When Kevin Hart says that, it's the funniest line of the whole movie. So but it's so great, So agree with you on the Shazam or on the Black Adam stuff. Doesn't make me want to see it any less, for sure. Doesn't really make me want to see it anymore. Looks great. I'm on board. Shazam, loved the first one. This looks like it continues in the same vein as the first one.
Yep.
Doesn't take itself too seriously, but still doesn't insult my intelligence and doesn't insult my audience, who want to see this movie. So I think it looks good. I think DC may have 2 winners on their hands with this, and what's fascinating is that they are both in the same universe of each other, and not related to the Justice League, of Batman. Although we did get to see briefly, the Superman stuff. We got to see briefly Batman, it just as kind of little teases in there, right, of stuff, which I thought was kind of cool, but
and it was Ben Affleck.
And it was Ben Affleck, yeah. I just thought it was neat that they hat tipped to all those guys, and they're like, "Hey, we do live in a universe with these guys are already in, and they already do their own thing." And so that was cool. I did like that. So
now,
yeah,
I'll say before we kind of go further with this, I was also disappointed with DC.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that was it, really.
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
We didn't get any of the Flash, which I understand Ezra Miller's busy beating up people in real life.
Beating up people and then having people at his compound and with guns laying around and stuff. Yeah.
Beating up people.
Right.
So I understand that. And then no Superman. I know there was a lot of hope they were going to be like, Henry Cavill's coming for Superman 2.
Yeah.
So it's just, when you look at Marvel, which we only saw a couple trailers. We know more's coming because they aired stuff. But we're literally looking out to 2025 on that list.
Right.
We go to DC, and we got 2 trailers for movies we were already excited for.
Right.
And that's it.
And it takes us through December, which again goes back to they don't have a plan. They still don't have a plan. They still don't have a strategic visionary that's taking over the reins of it and saying, "Hey, this is where we're going. This is the vision. This is where I'm going." And you know what? I agree with you and I disagree with you. I agree that I'm disappointed in that, but I'm also okay with it if they're not doing it in a rushed way. Like, they've learned their lesson here, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to do this right, or we're going to go in a completely different direction," versus just let's throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, and so I do agree with you that it's disappointing that this was it, because again, that goes back to they don't have a plan, they don't have and okay,
just gotta stick to animated.
Yeah, stick to the animated
Shazam
stuff.
World, the single one-off special Batmans. Okay, and then stick to your animated world. That's
because we did get confirmation earlier in the year that we're going to get another The Batman, right, with Pattinson. So we're going to get another one in that
spinoff on HBO.
Yep. I had heard there's some stuff coming out with with about Superman, and whether or not we were going to continue in that storyline, but that never materialized. Nothing came out. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. So, but stay the course with the Black Adam and the Shazam, and we'll see what happens next year. Maybe next year they come out and they've got a plan and everything together. And
there's Black Adam, Shazam. They could start tying things together with that, and they could say they got something here, but hold my breath.
All right, so let's move on to what I think was probably my second or third favorite thing out of the thing, and that's that's saying a lot because there was a ton of stuff on here. I would say this is probably my second favorite thing of the weekend, just behind Black Panther, and it was a dead heat. So we're going to move into kind of the everything else. So we've left MCU, we've talked about DC, and then there's kind of a hodgepodge of everything else. So let's talk about John Wick, because I love John Wick, and we got a teaser for, John Wick Part 3. Wow, is all I can say. It looks incredible. What I saw looks absolutely incredible. That whole world, when they first did the first movie, it was like, oh, okay, they kind of teased some of this other stuff, but now they're really starting to flesh out that whole underworld that exists, and man, you've got some really cool characters in that, in that universe. What did you think of the John Wick? So
I mean, I could watch, as bad as it sounds, I could watch Keanu Reeves killing people all day long.
Right. Totally.
I could just watch him kill people all day long.
Yeah.
And I will love it.
Yeah.
I
did say chapter 3, didn't I? I said chapter 3, but we actually get chapter 4. I apologize. Okay. It's supposed to be chapter 4. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got to rebuild himself.
Yeah.
After, if you saw the end of the last one.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're definitely getting that. He's definitely getting ready, training. Morpheus is helping him.
Yep.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome. We got Pennywise in there. I saw him. They only teased him a little bit, I can always mix up his name, so I just say Pennywise. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be. I want them to make sure they stay in that. Because I will say, the chapter 3 went a little off. It went a little wild for me, but I still appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah,
a little wild, especially with the way it ended and what he survived. I was like,
right.
I mean, the suit's bulletproof, not gravity proof.
Yeah,
but so I want him to reel it in a little bit, still have the big action, but remember the thing that made John Wick, the first one, so great was it just was an awesome quote unquote realistic, I put that in quotes, like fighting where you're like, okay, this is just a badass assassin.
Yeah.
Not a super powered human being. But,
right.
So
keep it.
They do that.
I mean, he's already doing crap that like nobody can do, but let's not go too crazy because we're not talking about the Matrix here, or maybe they do tie it in at the end. Highlight of chapter 3 was Halle Berry for me, but she's not so cast wise on so we're looking for John Wick. Looks like 2023. We got a release time for that. I don't know if we got an actual date for that, but it'll be out next year. Let me see if I can find that. John Wick 4. But we do get, some casting stuff. So like you alluded to, Bill Skarsgård, not related to Sarsgaard. Hiroyuki Sanada, who's one of our favorites around here. We get Lance Reddick comes back as Sharon. He's the clerk at the front desk who, is not really just a clerk at the front desk. I don't think so. He's a badass guy. Ian McShane will be back as Winston, who is now turning into the big villain.
Show now, right?
I think so.
Spin-off movie.
I think so. Donnie Yen, who everybody knows from Star Wars Rogue One. I am one with the Force is one with me. Lawrence Fishburne, of course, is in there. Shamir Anderson. So we got a kind of a banger of group. Clancy Brown, who I'm sure if you've ever watched the first Highlander movie, he was the Kurgan, and then also in Starship Troopers. He's just a phenomenal. Like if you've seen him in one thing, you know exactly who he is. But he's amazing. So I thought the trailer looked
from Game of Thrones and from Harry Potter.
Yep. So I mean, all in all, man. I forgot about her from Harry Potter. I forgot her in Harry Potter. Tonks. She played Tonks. She was great. Wow. John Wick. love everything about this. Love everything about this. Can't wait to see more. Very, very excited.
All day.
Yeah, for sure. Another bit that we got, and you have a great comment about it, but let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Chris Pine.
Right.
Yep, we do love our Chris Pine around here. This looked good. Tell me what because you had a great comment about. So tell everybody what you thought about the Dungeons and Dragons.
So basically, I want to see it. Like it. So I was shocked at how good it looked.
Yes, but you said something else though. You said,
what did I say?
You said that you were almost was it embarrassed or not embarrassed, but it was like you were
embarrassed would be good.
Yeah, you were. It was way better than it should have been. Like I think is how you say. Like you're embarrassed by how good it was. So it was better than it should have been.
It was better than it should have been because, like, I saw the first thing I saw was the character poster teaser.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This reminds me of like when my wife is watching Riverdale and it's the CW doing their like. Yeah. The character spins around and is like, yeah, and you get this character. Yeah. Or somebody then draws a Disney symbol. You know, like that's what the posters or whatever I saw. And I was like, that's what I expected.
Right.
And then the trailer came out and I was like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah.
Like I was shocked. It looks visually good. The story seems like it's going to be neat. The cast looks like it's going to be good together. Yeah. I was like, I actually want to go see this.
Yeah, I agree. I think I wouldn't even say cautiously optimistic. I was just cautious about this because I'm like Dungeons and Dragons. Oh my gosh, this is going to be bad.
Dungeons and Dragons before,
but yeah, I've never played, not once. Which is something that I think is going to be interesting, and this is something we talked about during the pre-show. I have a feeling that this movie is going to be loaded with shit I don't know. So because I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, there's going to be so many Easter eggs in here that if you are a Dungeons and Dragon person who's played it, there's going to be stuff that's going to come up on the screen and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And people like me, it's just going to go straight over top of my head and I'm going to miss all that stuff, but cast wise, Chris Pine looks great. He looks his normal, charming, roguish self, as the leader. And they even kind of call him out, towards the end of the trailer. It's like, what do you do here? Is I come up with the plans, what if the plan's bad?
So you make bad plans?
I make bad plans, yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah. So Michelle Rodriguez looks really good. We're going to get, I think, as the bad guy, Hugh Grant might be the bad guy. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how he kind of falls in there. So
I could see him being a bad guy.
Yeah. So Sophia Lillis is in it. Daisy Head. A lot of kind of folks that I don't know. That I'll be interested to see kind of where it shakes out at. But I agree with you. The trailer looked way better than it had any business looking.
I really thought this was going to come to Netflix or something real fast.
And I watched it and I was like, oh man, I kind of want to go see this, I kind of want to take the kids to go see it, and because it looks like it would be a lot of fun. And so we'll see. I don't know. The set pieces look good. The characters looked pretty good. So I'm all in all, at least based on this trailer, giving it a thumbs up, from my side.
Michelle Rodriguez looks like she's playing a Fast and Furious character.
Yeah. If somebody mentions family, I swear to God,
she's there for the family. She better rip open a Corona while she's there.
Yeah, I'll be so upset. If somebody mentions that.
If Vin Diesel in the car doesn't save her, I'll be very upset.
I'm trying to think. Did we get a? I'm trying to pull it up real quick. I was looking to see if we got a release date on that. I know it's not too far away.
I feel like we had. I mean, there's got to be a release date on that, right?
I think we've got a release date here coming up. I only see 20.
No, 2023.
Yeah. Okay. March 3rd, 2023. So we still got a ways to go.
Right, March.
Yep. Still got a ways to go before that one comes out. But again, this kind of goes back to the DC stuff. Okay, well, we're rolling out a trailer for a movie that's not coming out until March of next year.
Right.
How do you not have anything? Paramount drops that and at least shows us something. So
just realized that's the girl from It.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't watched that.
Sophia Lillis, she's in the It remake, the first one.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So moving into a section of the podcast where Morgan and I,
folks.
where Morgan and I, the rest of the folks check out, and so Morgan and I get to nerd out just a little bit
yes.
Together.
Thank God Darren's not here, right?
Right. So he would find this section of the podcast quite difficult. So let's talk about The Walking Dead.
Yes.
We got a ton of stuff from The Walking Dead. So we got, leading off the big part of it is we got a new trailer for season 11. This is the final season of the show. Probably 2 seasons past our expiration date. We probably should have ended like a while ago, but what did you think of the trailer for season 11?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a diehard Walking Dead fan. I still love the show.
As am I. Yeah, as
you know, we love it.
Yep.
The trailer looked good.
Yeah.
We know this is the finale season. This is it for the main Walking Dead show.
Correct. Yes.
So it looks like there's definitely going to be some tough times coming, but different. Not the normal tough times. I mean, we know the zombies. It's the end of the world. Every day's a tough day.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily going to be your typical bad guy coming in like a Negan and Alpha, the governor.
Right.
This is a different bad guy. And I say bad guy because the people aren't really technically like bad. They're just,
it's a different group.
Not quite like Negan where it's like, now you're learning like, oh, this is past. But Negan was just bad. All right. He was just bad. Let's face it.
Right.
Whereas this is different. And they hint at, you hear Aaron at the end do a nice callback to Walking Dead World Beyond. And a teaser in the credits of that, which was a pretty terrifying teaser for me in the Walking Dead world.
Right.
And,
An evolution.
And I'll say, a spoiler. I'll just say there's a spoiler because not a lot of people watch World Beyond.
Right.
You find out it did originate in France, but they talk about how the zombies are almost evolving, or there's different kinds, and you see in that a scientist gets shot and reanimate seconds later, and essentially go running at a steel door, and is pretty much putting dents in it.
Yeah.
And at the end of this trailer, Aaron says he heard rumors of zombies that can climb and run. And they show some zombies looking like they're climbing over a fence.
Yep.
Which can completely change the whole game.
Right. Which has been the predictability of the Walking Dead has always been like, hey, if there's any situation where things are tense and you don't know whether the group is going to make it, let's just throw some walkers in there just to amp up the, but really they're just there for window dressing. They don't really move the plot of the,
they're just there for jump scares.
They really are, and it's really, or gross out, stuff. Yeah. It's just all gore, which I think has been a problem with the series for a long time. And, we've not really, not really held back about that, as far as criticisms of the show are concerned. I watched this and I was already excited for the end of the season last year. I thought the way the season ended was really, really great. I am really excited for the end of this, for this whole thing to wrap up. I really don't think we're going to get a Game of Thrones wrap up. I think it's going to be good. It's not going to be like a happily ever after type thing. At least I don't think so. So, I don't think we'll have Rick like wake up in the hospital bed.
I don't think they're going that route.
Yeah. So
you get a lot of very pissed off I mean, JR wasn't really shot. It was all a dream.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that that's going to be the case, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and maybe so. I think it would be weird to have a dream when you're not even in it for the last like 3 years. So
yeah, like you said, I'm interested to see how they end it. The comic books are essentially a happy ending.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It doesn't seem like they're going happy ending route with the show, especially if they're teasing climbing and running zombies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hopefully it shakes out, for a lot of, especially the kids. I think that's the ones that, they're kind of pivoting and telling a little bit more stories about the kids, so I'd like to see that. I don't know that I necessarily want to see a happy ending between Negan and,
they're getting their own show, Negan and Maggie.
Yeah. I don't know. But we didn't.
They announced a poster for it, not during this, but earlier on they announced it.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting, to see. Well, let's talk about a new series though. We did get another announcement for a new series, out of the Walking Dead universe. It's called Tales from the Walking Dead, and we got a trailer for that. So Morgan, tell us a little bit about what Tales from the Walking Dead is going to be, and then what would you think of the trailer?
Yeah, I am looking forward to this. The trailer is a short trailer; it's like a minute long, but that was good. So Tales from the Walking Dead is going to be. Is it like 6 episodes?
6 episodes. Yeah. I don't know. Right? I don't know about that. Yeah, I think it's a limited series, but yeah.
I think it's going to be essentially. It seems like each episode is going to be a different story. In the Walking Dead world.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'd imagine hour-long episodes at least.
Could be an origin story. Could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them with.
6 episodes is what they're showing right now.
So 6 stories.
Yep.
It looks like they're going to do a mix. Some stories are going to be pretty early on.
Yeah.
In the outbreak, I mean, they show what's her pace. Or I can't think of her name. The actor.
Alpha. You're talking about Samantha Morton?
No, not Alpha.
Olivia Munn.
No, keep going. Shorter brunette hair. Short brunette hair. Pace.
Yeah, I don't know.
God, that's going to bug the hell out of
me. Yeah. Embeth Divitz.
But they show her and she's talking like, "Oh, don't listen to the news."
Yeah.
So it's going to be early on some of this stuff. But you got Terry Crews; he's going to be in an episode.
Yep.
Which, I mean, come on, it's Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Everybody loves
Love Terry Crews. Again, national treasure, like absolute national treasure. Love that dude.
Yes. Olivia Munn, like you said. I think it's going to be neat. The trailer looked good. Again, some of these offshoots have life. I like Fear the Walking Dead. I was liking it more than The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I think this one can be good, especially with that limited series. You're going in for 6 episodes.
Yep.
You're happy.
Yeah. Danny Ramirez, who played Fanboy in Top Gun Maverick, has a couple episodes, it looks like.
A-Train, right? He's in it.
Yeah. And we talked about Anthony Edwards, Goose, looks like he's got an episode. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how this is going to roll out, because I don't know whether it's just like one episode covers one character, or whether you're going to have an overall arc, where it's like 6 episodes and you follow characters for 3 episodes that they just tell different stories. So I'm not quite sure how the pacing.
Parker Posey.
Oh yeah, Parker Posey. Yep, she's great. Fry, little piggies, fry. She was so great in Dazed and Confused. So great.
I think this show is going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be a lot better than people would expect.
It looked really good. I really liked the teaser trailer. I thought the Terry Crews. They had me at Terry Crews. Really, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
I'd love to watch Terry Crews.
Yeah,
manhandle some zombies.
Yeah, exactly. So that looked pretty cool. Very excited about that. We also got a surprise announcement. I don't think anybody was expecting this. But let's hear what the last bit is. Let's hear
the big news.
Big news.
Rick and Michonne are back.
Yep.
They're getting a 6-part limited series. This is taking place instead of those. They were going to do the Rick Grimes like trilogy,
right?
Which I had a feeling that was going to be dead in the water. They took way too long to get that out.
Yep.
Rick has been gone too long.
Yep.
So I'm excited. I mean, this is,
and I don't understand what's taking so long, because it's not like
Yeah.
Andrew Lincoln's schedule is like super busy. Like he hasn't been doing
I haven't
anything.
seen him in
you know?
much.
Yeah. So what are they?
I
What are you
don't
waiting
know
for?
what happened with that. That trilogy should have came out shortly after.
Yeah, you got to strike while the iron's hot. You know.
Exactly. So, but I'm looking forward to that. I mean,
Yes, I am
the
too.
way we left it, Michonne.
Had abandoned their child.
No
And,
offense, Michonne,
you
but
know.
she left her child she had with Rick and
With
her
Rick.
adopted child.
And her adopted
right?
child. Yep. So now they both are deadbeat parents. Which
And that's the
is,
thing. Like, I understand love, but I don't think I could leave my
I
son. To
could
go
not.
and
Yep.
my wife.
I love my wife. And
I love
stuff.
you. I
Yep.
love you, honey. But at least I would take him with me.
Yeah, exactly. And if we all die, we all die. Yep. So
Yeah. I mean, the adopted one I get, it's not really yours, but
right.
it's
It's not like that. I can tell you, as a stepfather myself, or I will
never leave.
I would never leave that one behind either. So
I'm looking.
although when she was a teenager, there was a couple of times where maybe I would be like, meh, you know, it's I get, you know,
go to
but
the Grand Canyon.
yeah,
Garbage can, walk away.
right, yeah, a la Joe Dirt,
Yep.
Joe Dirte.
Getting some skull out
No.
of the trash can.
Yeah, no, she, yeah, no, you can't leave him behind, man. It's just
No, and that's the thing. But I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be Michonne looking. I mean, she leaves to go look for him essentially because she realizes he's alive somewhere.
Yeah,
based off of some stuff she finds in the show before she leaves. So
right.
I think, and with it being 6 episodes, again, the 6-part thing, that's smart. You know what you're going in. You know you're getting 6 episodes. You're getting a story. It's over.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
No, I agree. So all in all 3 bits of news and teasers and trailers and all that good stuff coming out of the Walking Dead universe. I walked away from this for the first time in a long time going, you know what? I'm excited. You know, like I'm excited. Like last season, even when we were getting ready, I wasn't dreading it, but I was like, I just was really unenthusiastic. I was like, oh my gosh, like, let's just get through this. Like, you know, let's just get through it. I don't feel that way after this Comic-Con. I feel like, I felt like this for a long time, is there's still plenty of stories to tell in that universe. Don't know that the Rick and Michonne universe is still where we need to go, but it's almost like the Skywalkers in Star Wars. Like, let's just move on. You know,
let's just move on. Let's end this. Let's get the Rick and Michonne reunited. Yep. Bring him back. Just get that happy he's back, and then end it.
Right. So speaking of reuniting, you know, with old characters and stuff from a different series, so I'm going to switch gears and move into something no one cares about except for me and a couple of our listeners. So, Tracy and Brant lives next door to Darren. Star Trek. Let's talk about Star Trek. We're going to get a crossover series between Star Trek Lower Decks, which is an animated series, and Strange New Worlds, which I think it's easily the breakout success that Star Trek and Paramount has been waiting for a while. Like, you know, with Discovery, things, I just don't think that flew like they were expecting it. Lower Decks has been well received. I've not watched it, but everybody I know who watches Star Trek and has watched Lower Decks loves it. It's really, really funny.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
And I've not heard anybody say anything negative about it. Strange New Worlds has just been great. I've watched through episode 6, I think, at this particular point. I need to finish out the season. Up to this point, not one episode has disappointed me. Some have been a little bit slower than others, but I think they're more character development type situations. But each story is just great. I love the Doctor. I love Nurse Chapel. Of course, you know, she's not ugly. That helps. But the Doctor's great. The whole cast is just really great. Rebecca Romijn, Ethan Peck, I think, is the guy who's playing Spock. really good. I'm interested to see, how that kind of shakes out. They did a whole episode on Spock, and he's actually got a wife that he's married to, which is interesting. That's not something I've seen before. So lots of really great stuff. Anson Mount is just dynamite as the captain. Just really, really great. Yeah, he's really, really good. He's as Captain Pike, he's just really, really great. So Strange New Worlds has been great. So we're going to get some sort of crossover, which I imagine will just be animated, and you get the voices of everybody in that one, which should be pretty entertaining. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it, but because I'm morbidly curious, as I feel like an abused person in this particular, and this is in no way, shape, or form am I trying to demean, people who are actually abused or whatever. But season 3 of Picard, we got a slight teaser, kind of a narrated headshot deal, where they just kind of showed everybody in their get-ups and stuff like that. So we're going to get a mashup between the Picard cast that we have right now, so 7 of 9, and one of the other characters on the show, I actually don't even care what her name is, and then they're bringing back the entire Next Generation cast. I guess is coming back, so we're gonna get Jonathan Frakes. We're gonna get the rest of the cast. Michael Dorn looks dynamite as in his Klingon gear, just looks phenomenal. I'm loving it. So we'll see how that goes. We're gonna get Geordi.
I gotta ask you, are you surprised they're doing it 3 from? So I've heard nothing but bad about the car.
It's been awful. Like it has been awful.
Everybody I know that has watched it is like this.
And that's what I'm saying is like this. I feel like this is. I don't want to say like okay, Discovery was not good. It was not good. But I didn't. At no point did I watch Discovery and go, oh man, I hate that. It's just terrible. I did not feel that way with Picard. Like I just hated it. I didn't like it. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't really like the storyline that they were going with. And it has nothing to do with like the actors or actresses. The story has just been terrible. So, Brent Spiner is coming back for. I don't know if he's going to be back because I don't know what they're doing with the Data character. That character is pretty much gone. But Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9, is coming back. I'm trying to think who the rest of the cast is that's on there. Marina Sirtis is going to come back as the Counselor Troy. We're going to get Michael Dorn as Worf. Beverly is going to be Gates McFadden's coming about. LeVar Burton reading Rainbow, and then Frakes as Riker. So we're going to get all those folks back on the cast. I don't know, man. I at this point,
this could be like a surprise where it's one of those like this season is just stand out and it makes you appreciate. Like this season just boom, and you realize, you go back and you go, oh man, now when you think about season 1 and 2, kind of like the way I look at it is like the Spider-Man movies, where you realize the new trilogy of Spider-Man is really a beginning for Spider-Man. It's an origin story essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe this is something where boom, you think, nah, they're just trying to throw in what they can to hopefully revitalize it.
To me, it feels like a cash grab. Like, let's get the whole cast together and then we'll do a last hurrah. That's what I feel like here. But I am open to anything, at this point. So it can't possibly get worse. Let's just say that. Like I just can't see them I just can't see it getting any worse. And but I'm willing to be surprised. I'll say that. So it's like that's pretty much it. So
I'd like to hear Brian's thoughts on it.
Yeah, Brian and Tracy. I mean, all you guys, if you want to comment on the YouTube and stuff or whatever, or send us a tweet on Twitter, let us know. It just I don't know, but I'll watch it because that's because I will. That's just how it goes. But
Yeah.
So last bit of news, I think, on the rundown that we wanted to kind of talk about. There was a couple of things that came out. I want to kind of rewind and go back to MCU stuff because this is all kind of Disney Plus related. So we'll talk about Disney Plus gave us a new show. It looks like they gave us a trailer for a new show called National Treasure: Edge of History. So I'm a huge fan of both of the National Treasure movies. I thought they were amazing. Despite the handicap of having Nicolas Cage in them, like leading it. No, I'm just joking. We all love Nicolas Cage. But what do you think of the trailer of National Treasure?
Yeah, and I'll admit, and did they release like an actual trailer?
It was like a behind the scenes.
Yeah,
like the making of, like, hey, we're making this, and they kind of showed like clips of it. Yeah,
I'll say, like, I'm gonna check it out because I love history.
Yeah,
I love that stuff. Like you said, the National Treasure movies are held in high regard in my household. I love National Treasure. It's pretty much the only thing that involves history I could get my wife to watch.
Right.
So I'm like, yes, everybody's in. But when you see the poster and there's no Nick Cage,
yeah,
it just throws me. And I'm like, and I know it's being made for Disney Plus, so it's going to probably be more geared towards children.
Right.
The cast looks very young in it.
It's very young. It's all kids.
So
yeah.
I'll check it out. I'm not gonna lie, I'll watch it with my son, definitely. Yeah. But I have no hope for it.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Really the only person coming back from the original cast is Justin Bartha, who played Riley, which again, I think we go back to the comments I think I made about the Minion movies. Like, your comic relief can't be the core of your show. So
that can't be the main guy.
Right. And so the Minions have always been the tension breaker when you're not cracking jokes out of your other characters. Like that's they've always been the, silly little side stuff. So, and Riley was the same way. Like, Riley was used to break that tension, because he was really, really funny. And so now he's leading the team, I guess, is what it is. And so then we get, it looks like a group of young kids. This girl is a young teenage girl, or early 20s, something like that. And she's trying to find the history of her family or something along those lines. So we'll see how it goes. I am unenthusiastic as well, but I will watch it. I'm hoping that, it looks to me like it's something I can sit down with the kids and feel pretty relatively safe watching it with them, and they may enjoy it. So, plus it gives me an opportunity to introduce both of them to the National Treasure movies, because I don't think either one of them have seen them yet. So, that'll be pretty good. So yeah, National Treasure: Edge of History, Disney Plus. I don't know if we have a date. Did we get a date on that? See if you can find a date on that.
Probably just like 2023.
Yeah, right. I'm sure. So, I think it's sooner than that. I want to say it's like right around the corner. So I think it's comes out in like the fall here. So we did get some other animated news in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We'll kind of finish the show with that. I do not see a date on the.
Yeah, everything's showing no official date for it.
Yeah,
just this year. Interesting.
Yeah, so animated wise, we got quite a bit of stuff. We got I Am Groot series, which I think is going to be the newest one that they're coming out with. So it's going to be an animated series around how the Groot character kind of grows up. So, Vin Diesel has probably his most difficult role he's ever played in his life, as he, continues to really struggle with the voiceover stuff that he does of using.
And to do a lot of reshoots. With Groot, because he just kept talking about family.
Right, he's family, and they're like, "Hey, all you need to say is these 3 words." I just want you to say 3 words. I am Groot over and over again in different ways. And then you can go home.
Just kept going.
What about family? Yeah, we're doing family.
Where's the Corona?
Whoa. Yeah. All right.
Family.
So I am Groot series looked all right. We got some details on Spider-Man freshman year. I think we're looking at that set to hit sometime in 2024. Well, kind of a ways away on that one. But Spider-Man freshman year, we got some news on X-Men 97, and then Marvel Zombies, and we got confirmation of what's coming with What If. So we're getting a What If season 2. So if anybody watched season 1, that was kind of cool because we got like a I want to say like a tease into the multiverse. You know, like it was an ease your way into shoehorn your way into a multiverse. You know, like, well, what if Captain America wasn't really Captain America? What if it was a girl and she was Captain Britain? Like, what would that look like? You know, and so we got to see some of that stuff in the Doctor Strange. You know, where we actually got to see that in the live action portion of things. But yeah, so we're definitely getting a season 2 of What If. That premieres early in 2023. No date on that one. The X-Men 97 stuff, that's going to debut in 2023 as well. And then that may retroactively move the other X-Men animated series into the MCU canon, if you will. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to do, but we'll see. So and this kind of foreshadows to me something that's a big hole, and I meant to talk about this earlier in the show. It's a big hole missing on that calendar, the MCU calendar, and it's spelled XMEN. Like, there is no list on any of that MCU stuff that we talked about earlier. There's no room for the X-Men in there. I don't see anything. I don't see any alluded to it. So when are we going to get the mutants? You know, when is that going to be put into the, or is it at all? You know, like, I'm not sure. Are they going to keep them on the animated side of the house?
Yeah, no. Oh, I mean, there is
I mean, because they unloaded the whole calendar on us, you know, and there's none of this on there.
With Miss Marvel, there is something in Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay, all right.
There's a tease to something.
Got it.
It's still too new, so I won't really ruin it. But
yeah,
if you watch this, I didn't watch the show. I just looked it up.
Yeah,
you know, and they tease something. I won't say much about it. But
okay.
You just kind of got to see it, and you'll know. But
well, I mean, we've gotten teases. You know, we got the X-Men tease in. You know, we got Professor Xavier in.
Yeah.
In
this is more of a real direct.
Yeah, but what I'm alluding to is that I don't see a big X-Men on the calendar. So right. maybe
nothing's been announced.
Yeah, so maybe they're holding that back because we did get a Fantastic Four. You know, and that's 3 years down the road. You know, they're saying, hey, we're going to do Fantastic Four 3 years down the road. Okay. Do I see an X-Men in there, you know, somewhere? And maybe they're just holding those cards close to the chest, you know, and they'll surprise everybody.
I don't need to know. I'd rather watch a movie and go, holy crap, is that X-Men? And then boom, they announce we have an X-Men.
Right. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But all in all, jam-packed San Diego Comic-Con. Wow. Just absolute wow. I was really impressed with Marvel. Really, they had taken a little bit of a hiatus from it. They came back with a vengeance, if you will.
You know, I'll say I'm getting excited again. I was losing my excitement.
For sure. I overall, I mean, we've had this discussion internally within our group that this phase of the MCU has been a letdown, to say the least. So, I think we've been, but it's not completely unexpected.
Hosting. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I would say that's not necessarily unexpected. coming off of, a giant buildup, and then, Endgame was just, man, it was just so massive. So you kind of regroup and start setting things up. And so I don't think you're going to have, and the characters that they're working with are not, it's not Captain America. It's not Hulk. It's not, it's Iron Man, that type of stuff. Thor. I mean, even though you did have a Thor movie, I think the Thor movie didn't quite hit as well as they would have liked. I have not seen it. I'm hoping to see it this week or next week.
I haven't got a chance to see it yet, but I've heard quite a few mixed things.
Yeah, I've heard mixed stuff as well. So, so we'll see. But overall, I thought the Comic-Con was pretty good. What are your kind of closing thoughts on everything?
I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I'm most excited for. I mean, the Black Panther trailer I think was the highlight.
Yep.
For me, out of everything, that trailer really did blow me away.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited for the Daredevil stuff. I mean,
yeah.
He's my favorite character. Any Daredevil stuff I can get,
sure,
I'm in. And I am still excited about Walking Dead. I'm a guy that they keep making this Walking Dead stuff.
Yeah.
I'm happy they're wrapping up the main show, but they can keep making Walking Dead stuff, and I'm probably going to tune in for all of it. I've watched it all so far.
Yeah. Agree with you on just about everything there. Wakanda Forever trailer looked amazing. I am so excited for John Wick. So excited. Like, that was really good. My surprise, I think, for my side of the house was a bit of a tie between Dungeons and Dragons and Shazam 2 as kind of a dark horse. Shazam 2 maybe not so much, but the Dungeons and Dragons kind of came out of nowhere for me as being like, wow, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So lots of stuff to kind of look forward to over the next 6 to 9 months. And then even into the coming years, I think there's a lot of good content coming out. I think we're still rolling in COVID stuff. There was a lot of stuff generated during COVID, and I think we're kind of shaking all that stuff out too. So we didn't even talk about, they didn't really even talk about it at Comic-Con, but we got Dune 2 started filming, or at least the production on that has started to get going. So. Lots of stuff to kind of go to kind of talk about there with Dune getting started and a bunch of some other stuff. So, but yeah, so all in all, just been great. And, thanks to everybody for listening. I think Tracy, dude, wow.
Keep it up.
Yeah, keep it up, man. You've just been lighting it up on the comment section. We're loving that. We got a picture this week. Morg, why don't you?
We'll have to show it.
Yeah, I'll have to show it on the edit. I'll show it to everybody.
Anybody that follows the Nerd Rundown on Instagram, you can definitely see the picture. But Tracy Bittner, I'm sorry. I guess he's jumping up to our number one fan spot.
Number one fan. Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, everybody else out there.
Yeah. Yep.
He's jumping up there, but he made a gracious donation in honor of the Nerd Rundown to the Children's Dyslexia Center of Central Pennsylvania. He went to a golf tournament and sponsored a hole in our honor. We'll have to flash the picture.
Yep. I'll have it on segment.
There. So we appreciate that. We appreciate you listening and the feedback and doing that. That's awesome, man. I was very happy to see that picture.
Yeah, awesome. Dude, that was just killer. So thank you for doing that.
On the move.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, and just keep plugging us to your friends, keep plugging us to your family. You guys are everybody who listens, everybody who watches the show. Keep spreading the good word about us. Hopefully, we're giving you the content that you want to hear and you want to hear more of. Let me know, in the comments or feedback or whatever, if there's stuff that you think we should be doing better, or covering that we're not covering. Let us know. Like we're all big boys and girls, and we can handle it. So,
yes.
That being said, Morg, do you have anything else you want to mention?
Well, I don't think I do.
All right.
I think that's it. A lot there. I'm looking forward to as we get more trailers and breaking it all down and and get more into it and bringing you guys what you want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, thank you for a great show, Morg. You were amazing. Had some great commentary on all the stuff. Love hosting with you. It's always a great time. Thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you to everyone for participating, and like I said, the comments and stuff like that. So with that, we will bid you all adieu, and we will see you next time on the Nerd Rundown. See ya. Bye.